Okay, class, when we're working with decimals, let's say we want to turn 1/3 into a decimal, what we need to do is put it into the proper form first. So we have to drop the 1 next to the 3, and 3 divides into 1. Okay? So when 1 divided by 3, or 3 dividing into 1, we have to put the decimal here, and it goes straight up right there. And we have to look at this first number right here. Can 3 divide into 1? No. So that's 0 times. Now I look at the next number combined with 1. So 1 and 0 next to each other, that's 10. So can 3 divide into 10? Yes, 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract that, I get 1. Let me drop this 0 down. And again, 3 goes in there 3 times. So I notice a pattern right here already forming. And what I'm going to do is just put a repeating line on top. So I get 0.33 with a repeating line. Now let's say I have a decimal, 0.47, and I want to turn that into a fraction. Well, I had showed the class a shortcut before, but let's look at what really is going on right here. Now, if I know my numerals, I know that this is tenths and this is hundredths. So this would be 47 hundredths, or 47 out of 100. Sometimes we have a number that looks like this. We can't get confused and think this is 50 out of 100. What it is 5, because I have a 0 here and a 5, that's 0, 5, and this is my tens, here's my hundreds, so it's 5 out of 100. And of course what I want is for you to also simplify. Now sometimes we have numbers that are bigger than 100. What do I mean by that? Let's say I have 1.65. So this would be 165, see, 165 out of what? Well, here's my tens, here's my hundreds. There's no other number there. And I'm not going to count this one when I'm looking down here. So tens, hundreds, 165 out of 100. And I can also double check that. Because if I take 165, divide it by 100, it goes in there one time. Subtract that, 65. There's my decimal. Here are a couple zeros. Drop this right here, sorry. I have 650. Goes in there 6 times, 600. Subtract that, 50. Drop this down here. And I come back to 1.65. And that's why that makes sense. And finally, the other time that we encounter decimals when we're talking about percentages. Say I want to find 25% of, say, I don't know, 75. This is 25 out of 100. This is 25 tenths hundredths. So I know we have this shortcut, but I didn't really have to do that. I know that this is 25 out of 100, so it would be 25 hundredths. So I'll take 0.25 or 25 hundredths and multiply it times 75. And I end up with 1875. But that's not the answer. I have to finally look right here, and I have 2 numbers behind my decimal. So I move that over twice, and I get 18.75. Okay? So if we look back, decimals here. Where did it come from? Percentage. Right here, we divided, but we started with this decimal, 1.65. And again here, and here, and here, and here.